What's up, Christian? Nicholas here from Growth Marketer with some feedback on the landing page you shared. So taking a look at this page, I have it pulled up where we could see the mobile layout on the left and then the desktop or laptop layout on the right. So we get a good feel of how it looks on both a mobile device and on a regular browser. And so as you can see, the first thing that I notice is the background here in what we would call the hero section. It's a cool background, but it's taking my eye away from the main headline. And so I think maybe there's something that can be done just to put a little more focus on the text and less on the imagery, because it's such an interesting pattern with the water on the floor. I think you really want to get people to focus on the headline rather than the background image. So you can do a few different things. You can either change the background to something that is a bit less distracting or interesting, or you can maybe put an overlay over that image so it doesn't stand out as much, maybe like a dark or a light overlay, so that the little text area really pops out more. So then next I look at the headline, I see it says, how can a slip test save you 10,000 pounds? One client saved 65,000 on insurance premiums just by having slip tests done. So that's interesting, but there's no call to action above the fold. And that's really important on a landing page. You want to have a call to action, usually a button or a form. In this case, I think it would work really well if you just add a button somewhere below this box here. And it could be the same button you have elsewhere on the page where it says arrange a chat. Or get your free consultation, schedule your slip test, something like that. But you want people to know there's an action that we want them to take, and that should really show up above the fold on both desktop and on mobile. We want it to show in that first screenful. So you have a lot of white space or blank space here where I think you could do a button. The other thing I'm noticing is there's no logo above the fold. I would really recommend there being a logo. And now as I look closer, I see there's also looks like a watermark here that probably needs to get removed from this background image. But you really want to have a logo or something that represents the company, because that's going to add to the trust and the credibility of the page. Then as I scroll down, prior to hitting record, I noticed the video here auto plays, and that's also something that we've seen hurts most landing pages, because people, they get a bit startled when the video starts playing, and it can end up causing a high bounce rate. So I would recommend not making that video autoplay. And I think it's a pretty good video. If you want to sort of spruce it up a little bit better, I think it was really interesting, the part of the video that shows the actual slip mechanism, the tool. And I think you have a photo, but you represent it in the video. I think it would be really cool if you start the video with that and actually do sort of an on-site demonstration of what the slip test is. Because when you say slip test, it doesn't have that much meaning to me, but when I saw what you're actually doing, it looks really cool and it looks very sophisticated, and that creates more value. So, I mean, if you have the ability to reshoot the video, I would go on location and actually start by, showing the machine and doing the slip test real quick, or just part of it, and showing people what it looks like. That's going to create a higher perception of value and get more people interested in doing the test. Then you have some text here. Most people are just going to skim it, so I like that you have it bolded in some parts. You have some stats here. I think that's really good. Then you have the call to action. That's good. What you'll get. This is good. You might want to shorten some of this up. Like what you'll get is probably fine. You don't have to say if we do a slip test for you. You want to shorten up the copy in some places, even with the call to action buttons. Like arrange to chat to see if a slip test is appropriate for you. It feels long-winded. You could say schedule my slip test, something like that. Just keep it very short and actionable. And then down here you have these testimonials, which is great to see social proof on the page. You have 3 different ones, and I would say if possible, maybe you can add the logos of these companies just to add some more credibility to them, and maybe have this be its own separate section where you'd have maybe a different background color so it stands out, and you could have a headline above it that says what some of our satisfied clients have said. Something like that. So it introduces a new frame of thinking, because what happens is as people read it, right now it's all one thing, and they're seeing, okay, this is what I get. And then, oh, wait, what are these photos? I don't know what this is. Is this also explaining what I'm getting? But no, these are your testimonials. So I would have that as a separate section. I would also increase the size of the text, especially on mobile. It just seems a bit small, and you really want that to be legible. And then here, I think this is really interesting. The most interesting graphic on the page is this graphic here, but I think it would be cooler if you have an actual photo of the machine, because that's also going to create more of a perception of value, because it shows that this is a real machine, not just a drawing. And then you have the clients we support. This, I think you can do full width. So you can have these logos span across the page and have their own section. Again, you want to have a dedicated section to build up that credibility and build up that trust. And you have some really notable brands here like JLL. And example outcomes. This, again, I think this could be a bigger picture. I think, it's really cool that you have 0 slips for 12 months. It's a notable company that I've heard of. I would do this as sort of a full width image with the text above it in its own section so that people don't miss it. You can even do this one as a separate one as well. Maybe put them at different parts of the page so that it sort of tells that story in multiple places in case people don't scroll in a linear fashion down the page. And then I love that you have a call to action at the bottom. That's fantastic. One thing I noticed though is you have this little, I guess we would call this a toaster pop-up that slides up from the bottom. Normally when we use a toaster pop-up or any type of pop-up on a landing page, it's to have a secondary call to action, which is a secondary thing that we're offering. But in this case, it looks like it's similar to the main call to action, which is to book a call. So in that case, it's redundant and it might be causing confusion for the visitor who doesn't know what to click on. So in that case, I would recommend probably removing this and just focusing on the main call to action. And if you want there to be a persistent call to action throughout the page, something you can consider adding is a sticky header, where you've probably seen where as you scroll down certain pages, you'll see like a header that sort of looks like a bar across the top and it just stays stuck, hence the term sticky header. And you can have a call to action button and a logo there so that people will always see that call to action no matter where they are on the page. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one. I hope you found this useful. For anyone watching this who wants to get more growth marketing tips and see more landing page feedback in the future, hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel by clicking below. And also, if you want to get my very best growth marketing news, tools, and insights, I send out one short email every Thursday. It's absolutely free, and I would love for you to subscribe. You could sign up by going to growthmarketer.co, or you can just click the link below. It's called Growth Marketer Weekly. And again, it's absolutely free. Sign up at growthmarketer.co. Take care.